Is my screen visible now? Okay. Now this is a very interesting thing which I'm going to show right now. Is my screen visible? Yes. Okay. So how many parts of the memory have we studied so far? So two main parts of the memory, stack memory and heap memory. Perfect. Okay. So I'll color code them for your sake. So this is my stack memory and this is my heap memory. Okay. Okay. In the heap memory, we have a separate section which is a part of the heap that is called as, any guesses, anyone who's done Java previously? What is it called as? So the string constant pool is a part of the heap or the part of the stack. If asked in the MCQ exam, part of the heap. Okay. Yeah. So what this uh, does, what is the importance of this string constant pool is we can create how many ways. See, whatever starts with a capital in Java is a class. Remember this. So string is a class or is string a primitive? Classes come under what? Primitive or non-primitive? Non-primitive. So string is primitive or non-primitive? Okay, non. This is a very big argument. Okay, between the experts of Java as to string comes under which type. Okay, because at times string behaves as a primitive also, and it also behaves as a non-primitive. So this is a very sort of subjudice and debatable uh, data type. And what are the primitives? Integer, character, these eight types, right? Those eight types which we have been studying. Okay. Okay. So string is a class. So how do you benefit from a class? So if scanner is a class, right? Scanner is a. So how do I benefit from a class? By creating its object. So how do we create an object of scanner? Class name, object name, new keyword, and class name round bracket, right? Right. So similarly, can you tell me how to create an object of string? String, let's say name equals to new string, and let's say I make the string L. Make sense? Okay. So this is one of the ways of creating a string. Another way of creating a string is directly you can say string, and you can directly say like this. So this option A is called as string literal. It's called as, and this option B is called as string object. Called as. So how many ways can we make a string? Two ways. Which are they? Which are they? Yes, string it literal means using equal to operator. Using which operator? Directly you use the equal to operator and you can directly make a string, and string is in double quotes. Okay, string is always in double quotes in Java. Strings in Python can be in single quote, double quotes, but string in Java is explicitly in double quotes only. Okay, So now what is the difference when I make it between these two ways? Now try to understand this concept. It is a bit slippery, but I'll try to make it as easy as possible for you all to understand without any confusion. So no, no, reverse, vice versa, vice versa. If you will store using equal to, it will go in string constant. Now this was the explanation part. Now this is the coding part. Okay. So now when I say string name equals to Alice, so I am creating this string using string literal, right? So when I create using string literal, when I create using string literal, it will search for the string in the string constant pool. That is there any string existing in the string constant pool by this name? So is there any string in the string constant pool by name Alice? No. So it will go and create that string. It will create that string in the string constant pool at a particular address 1000. And who is pointing to 1000? Which reference? Name. So that detail, the reference detail is stored in the stack memory. As highlighted by Abdul Shakur yesterday, that stack stores the reference and heap stores the object. So it will store in a two column table, reference name and memory address. Okay, reference name and memory location, memory address. So what is the reference name? Name, right? And where is it pointing to? Address 1000. And what is there 1000? Alice. Okay. Next, next time when I create a string using string literal, it will first go and search for the string in the string constant pool. So now when I make a Alice with the same name and same spelling and same case again, it will first go and search in the string constant pool. It will go and search where? If it gets a string by that name, it will not create a new one and make this reference point to the same string. So is there a string by name Alice right now? So where will name one point to? Will it create a new string? So name one will also point to, name one also point to 1000. They both are pointing to the same memory address. They both are pointing to the same memory address. So this increases the performance of your application. So those strings which are already there, they will new memory will not be allocated to such string. Okay. Now let's come. Okay. So in Java to compare two strings, now this should be interesting. In Java to compare two strings, we have two mechanisms. Okay, there are many mechanisms that I'll give you the two. One is the equal to operator, double equal to, right? The comparison operator which you would use in C. And one is the equals method. One is the equals. Okay, equal to does a address comparison. Does a is the address of the two references same. So if I say name one, name equal to name one, true or false? The address is same of both of them. So this will give me a true. This will give me a true. We'll do a practical and we'll check. This will give me a true. And the equals does a content comparison. Does a content comparison It will compare the content of the string, and it will be case sensitive. It will be what? Case. What do I mean by case sensitive? Is Alice and Alice. What will this give? True or false? Why false? I- So if I do like this, equals with Alice and Alice. So this will give you a false, right? Yeah. So this is a case sensitive. If you want case insensitive, you have equals ignore case. You have what? You have this method, equals ignore case. If you want to do a case insensitive, so this will give you a false, right? But if I do Alice dot equals ignore case with a Alice, what will this give me? This will give me a true. Okay, so you have various ways of comparing two strings. It will give you a true. So let's come back over here. So now, but when I make a string with a string literal, now try to understand this. Okay, this is what I wanted to show. But when I make a string with a string object, sorry, and I say new string and I use ben. Okay, when I use the new keyword to create a string, it will first search the string which I am creating. Is it there in the string constant pool? Yes or no? Not there. It will go and create the string in the string constant pool first. Remember this. And it will also create a string outside the string constant pool. New will create every time a new string, irrespective of string exists or not. New will always create a new string. Okay. So when I say new ben, it will first check if there are is there a string existing by this in the string constant pool. If not, it will create it in the string constant pool, and it will also create it outside the string constant pool in the heap memory also. Is that making sense to you? Okay. Hmm? Yeah, it will be to the address 2000. Okay. So it is pointed to 2000. Maybe 2000 internally might be pointing to. Okay, sorry, it is pointing to address 3000 rather. So the object will point to the object. Okay, and then 3000 might be internally pointing to 2000. Pointer to a pointer. Remember? Okay. Now when I come again, if I do like this, string name 3 equals to new string, and if I write over there ben, what do you think will happen? Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Pinpoint accurate. So it will first go and check if, because in the string constant pool, if a string is there, new string is not created, right? In the string constant pool, one copy will only be there of that string. So it will go and check, is the ben there in the string constant pool? No need to create it. But as it has been made using new keyword, a new string will be made where? A new string will be made in the, yeah, outside the string in the heap memory it will be always be made. So new keyword will always result in a new string. New keyword will always result in a new string outside the string constant pool. And what would be in the reference now? Name 3 and pointing where? 4000. 4000 internally might be pointing to 2000, pointer to a pointer. Okay, now you all tell me what would happen now. Okay, now, okay, now let's, I'll show you all the interesting part now. This should be interesting now for you guys. Name 2 equal to name 3. What will it give me? True or false? Equal to does a reference comparison. Is name 2 and name 3 pointing to the same address? So will give me a false. But if I would have write like this, name 2 equal is a method. So you call a method with the help of the object. So name 2 equals name 3. Is the content same? They will give me a true. Okay. So these are slippery questions which they will ask in the interview. So let's try to do it practical and see maybe if it is. So where is our ET playlist? FSD ET E001. Okay. So I'll make a class over here. I'll start making the packages now, day wise. So today is our day 5. So I'll make day 5 package. So going forward, we'll follow this time. And in the fifth day, we had studied the string constant pool. Okay, so let's see how good you all are at understanding. I do string name 1 equals to Alice. Where will this be created? Name 2 also equals to Alice. So will there be two Alice strings in the string constant pool or only one Alice string in the string constant pool? So, so if I do a sys out and I do a name 1 equal to name 2, are these pointing to two separate address or to one address? So and equal to does a reference comparison. So true or false? True, right? Let's check it out. So let's check this out. Correct? Okay. If I would write a small a over here, then let's check whether the string constant put is case sensitive or not. So if it comes over here, true means string constant pool is case insensitive, right? And if it comes a false means it. So what do you think will come? If it comes a true means is case insensitive, and if it comes false means Alice and Alice have been given to two separate addresses. Means your string constant pool is case sensitive. If it comes a false, so what do you think will come? I guess false. I'm expecting false. So the string constant pool is case sensitive. Okay, there should be sufficient evidence. So save, right click and run. So what do you get? False means Alice and Alice, they will be two separate strings. So if you try to add Alice with a small a, what will it do? It will create a new object at a separate address. So for the small Alice with a capital small a will be given to a new memory location. Correct? So string constant pool is case sensitive. So is the string constant pool case sensitive? Yes. Okay, very good. Now let's try to make a string with the help of the string object. And let's make Alice. So will a new string be made in the string constant pool? Will a new string be made in the heap memory? Name 3 will point to the string constant pool or to the heap memory. Heap memory. So when I say name one equal to name three, are they pointing to the same address? So this will give a false, right? This will give a false. Okay. So I can just put some text before it so that we know. So there will be many true, false, true, false. Okay. So I just put a FSD over there and I'll concatenate it. So what will come after FSD? True or false? So if it comes after a if it comes false after FSD means the new object is made in the heap, right? Why is it not concatenating FS? Why is the FSD not concatenated? Why is the FSD not being concatenated? It is showing false over here, but it's not concatenating this FSD. Okay. At the end, no, this is a separate, this is a Boolean value, no, and this is some normal text. Okay, we'll just see what is the issue. But it is giving you a false. It is giving you a false, right? So that means this is a new object which has been made. Let's make one more object now. So now if I make string name 4 as a new string Alice, so a new object is made in the heap, right? So if I compare the 3 and 4, is it will be true or false? If I compare 3 and 4, true or false? False, right? So there will be one more false. So there will be one more third false over here. Okay. Let's try to check why is it. So again a false has come, right? So getting the concept of string constant pool. So when I use new keyword, what happens behind the scenes? It will first search in the string constant pool if a string exists. If it doesn't exist, it will create. But in the heap, it will create without searching, right? Yeah. So this is the right answer. So when I use a new keyword to create a string, it will first search in the string constant pool if a string exists by that string name. If it exists, it will not create. It will directly create an object in the heap memory. And if a string is not found in the string constant pool, it will create in the string constant pool as well as in the heap memory. Okay. Okay. If I would do equals instead of equal to, what would it give me? If I would do name 3 dot equals, what will this give me? So it will give me the last will display true, right? See, here it is displaying it is true. Okay, so this is only a Boolean value, no? That's why it is only showing Boolean value. Make sense? Okay. Here it is giving false, right? Because I'm doing reference comparison. If I do name one, okay, tell me what it will give you over here. Name one dot equals name two. What do you think? Equal equals name two. Will be false. Okay, so I'm just putting over there any random number. So what will come after ABC? True or false? False will come after ABC, right? After ABC, false has come. But now if I say, yeah, if I say XYZ, name one equals ignore case. Now, so after XYZ, it will give me true, right? Okay, got it? All the I've covered mostly all the permutations which are needed for you all to understand how strings work in Java. Make sense? And this is the string constant pool. And heap memory and stack memory. Stack memory contains only the references. The heap memory contains the actual object. Is that making sense?